It's amazing. Right next to us, they're chasing buffalo. Hold on, we're going to stick with them. Oh, they got him, they got him, they got him, they got him. Go white light, Eggsy, white light, if you can. Can you switch to normal light? Yeah, go to normal. Isn't this incredible? I know this is difficult for some people to watch, but this is absolutely amazing. The incredible Nkuhumas do it again. Well, it's not all over yet. So I haven't switched the car off in case the buffalo comes in this direction. Okay. I know that's a terrible sound. But this is Africa. This is nature. This is live. I'm shaking with excitement. So what they're trying to do, you see how they're going for his haunches in the soft spot at the back of his legs when they're trying to get him down on the ground. Once he's on the ground, a lot of the battle has been won. Now you see, the other way they bring down, once that buffalo's on the ground, they're going to try to go for its throat or its nose. Look at that, that lioness has been on top the whole time. She's just not letting go. You can see how she's chewing in there. Every little bit of loss of blood and all that will help bring him down. Just see where he goes. Now you've always got to be careful in these situations that you don't put the vehicle in the wrong place. And you can see, ooh, we nearly got that lioness. But you see what she's doing? She's keeping him distracted while the others work on the back. Look, look, see how she's trying to pull his back leg out to get him on the ground. Oh, she's fallen off. Oh, now she's back on. Isn't that amazing? Look at that agility. Look how she's opened up that wound, and that blood, as that blood seeps, it's going to weaken him slowly but surely. Now, I know this is sensitive, guys. If you are not comfortable with this type of stuff, please rather don't watch. This is live, and this is nature. He's putting up a proper fight. And you can see how the lions avoid those rapier-like horns of the buffalo. This is a battle that's being played out in the African bush for the last 200,000 or so years that lions and buffalo have coexisted. Look at she's going for that Achilles tendon. Look, isn't that incredible? She's trying to weaken him, get him down onto the ground. Oh, he nearly fell there. Look at that, isn't that amazing? Look at that agility. She fell off and she was back on there in a split second. Now it's going to be interesting to see which lioness, once they get him down, goes for the throat. Just in case he decides to charge this way, we're going to move back a bit. Sometimes it can take as long as an hour and a half for them to get a buffalo completely dead. You can still see he's got quite a lot of fight left in him. That you can see how just have a look. You can see how the blood's starting to flow more freely, and that will weaken him slowly. Now remember guys, as hard as this is, the lions have to eat. They've got those 8 cubs to feed. See how that lioness keeps trying. They keep trying to get to the front. They keep trying to grab him by the nose or by the throat, but there's still far too much fight in him yet, and they don't want to risk a serious injury at those horns. Look how he just walks with those lions on top of him. He still hasn't given up yet. Oh dear, my earpiece has come out. Just give me a second. There we go, it's back in. Now Jamie's also arrived. Let's get in a bit closer. They're right at the edge of the light there. just going to move around, get on the right side of him. Where's my... Oh, he's walking with all those lions on his back. He's just disappeared behind a termite. Okay, let's go to Jamie. She's got a better view.
We've just arrived on the scene, and oh my goodness, what a scene to be greeted with. The Nkuhuma's on top of the buffalo, and this is not at all easy for us to watch. It's always incredibly difficult. Sorry, yours. Okay, we're going to reposition in a moment to get a better view. Sorry, yours. Thank you. Awesome, thank you. Oh, this is unbelievable. This is so raw. To watch something like this. The Nkuhuma's proving once again what a phenomenal force they are. A serious force to be reckoned with. Let's go over to Brent, who's got a slightly better view.
They nearly got him down there. Oh, look at that hook. He nearly got that lioness. Oh, we're going to get out of here. See, they're still trying to get onto that front side of him. Look at that. Isn't this just absolutely amazing? Now, a buffalo bull like that can weigh 1,500 pounds. Each lioness probably only weighs around 300 pounds. See, they're going for those Achilles tendons. They're desperately trying to get this buffalo down. Once he's on the ground, it's going to be much easier for them to get in and around that mouth safely. Now, the Nkuhumas are incredible buffalo hunters. Sorry, Eggsy. Rather a stick than a buffalo. See how he's trying to hook? And that's one of the reasons the lions go for that exact spot when they jump onto the back of the buffalo, just behind the shoulder blades. You see there, it's just out of reach of where he can hook back with his head. And he's almost got his tail completely off. Still hasn't given up. I know this can be very difficult to watch, guys, but this is the lion's meal. It's the survival for those 8 Nkuhuma cubs. A big buffalo bull like this, it's a lot of meat for that family. You can actually hear her crunching in. She's reached the bone, the vertebra in his back. That lioness on the back. You can actually hear her chewing on the bones. Oh, see that? Those lioness are waiting for a half gap. If they can get onto the nose, it's a very common tactic that lions use on big animals like buffalo. If they can get onto the nose, what they do is they bite into that nose, and then what happens is it actually starts to slowly drown on its own blood. Okay, so I know you're still listening to me, but you're looking from Jamie. Isn't this incredible? Look at that. No, I'd say the buffalo's chances of escaping become less and less with every second. Here we go. You can hear the bone crunch. Standing by. No, yours. Please keep it. It's a nice light. Thanks very much. Oh, there, he's nearly down. He's nearly down. He nearly fell down. Oh, there we go. Have they got him? They've got him down. Now, who's going to be the brave lioness who goes for the throat or the nose, gets near those horns? Look, there we go. She's got, oh no, she didn't quite get there. There we go. Look, she's going there. I wonder who that is. She's going for the throat. She's got safely under the horns. Now she's going to go for that nose grip. Now, as we get that nose grip, she bursts the veins, she digs into the nose, and that buffalo will slowly drown. But it's still dangerous. Those horns are still there. But when the buffalo's down, the lions they've won. Now, I know this is difficult. That buffalo is not dead, and the other lions are starting to feed already. That is not unusual behavior. I know you're looking at Jamie. I'm just going to try to get around to the other side of the kill. Oh, no, we're going to sit there. We're going to sit there. Look at that. Okay, let's go. What do you think, Sunday? Let's go around to the other side. We're just going to get ourselves in the right spot. How's that, Sunday? Cool. There we go. I'm just going to try and get the spotlight in a spot where it doesn't move. This sounds terrible, but this is nature. This is survival for the Nkuhumas. See, the faster they get on to that nose, the quicker this ends. It's nearly over now. Perfect, Jaws. buffalo's bellows are changing a little bit. There's almost gurgling in them now. And that's because of the blood. Now, you can hear that breathing. You can hear that starting to gurgle. This does take quite a lot of effort. And you can see actually how strong a lioness is there. She's getting kicked in the face. But that's not stopping her. You can hear that breathing. This is hard to watch, everyone. Now, this is one of the joys of being out after dark. Being able to see the big cats hunt. You can hear the blood starting to gurgle out of that buffalo's nose. Starting to struggle. He's definitely getting much weaker now. Incredible Nkuhuma's buffalo hunters. Extraordinaire. And you can see now some of the lioness, or the single lioness at the back, she's resting. Now, it would have taken a massive amount of effort for these lions to bring down, or could there be a male coming? Now, there were tracks of a male around earlier. Where's she off to? There could definitely be a male on the way. Now, any self-respecting male lion within 10 kilometers of here would have heard that. And a male lion's not going to pass up a free meal. Where she went? There she goes. Or she could go back and fetch the cubs. That could be where she's off to. Still fighting away to suffocate that buffalo. course, there's no standard sort of ranking or hierarchy amongst a lioness. And Romy's wondering who gets to jump on, who gets to grab the dangerous end. Is it the same lioness every time? Or does it vary? Well, Romy, I actually saw 3 different lionesses on top of this buffalo today. And I've seen different lionesses go for that kill grip on buffalo. So I just think whoever happens to be in the right position, or maybe the lioness that put the least effort into the actual bringing down of the buffalo. As you can see, that lioness is really tired. And she was up on top, probably one of the lionesses that were on top for quite a while. And that takes incredible physical strength to hold on to that bucking buffalo. I mean, and I think probably the lioness that's in the best position and probably the least exerted from the rest of the hunt will grab that all-important nose or throat hold. Now, with lionesses, you don't see the throat hold as often as the nose hold on big buffalo bulls. As their jaws might not be big enough to clamp close the larynx, but male lions will use that throat hold even on a big buffalo. And again, I do apologize to our sensitive viewers. I know this is difficult to watch, but this is live, and we are here to observe nature in all its facets. So this is part of nature, a crucial part of nature, and not something people get to see very often. So this is absolutely incredible. We are live with the incredible Nkuhuma pride. Brought down a massive buffalo bull. He's not quite dead yet, but he's getting closer. You can hear him struggling to breathe more and more. So what's happening is his lungs are slowly filling with blood. So what actually happens now is he'll actually drown. You can see kicking's becoming weaker and weaker. Now she'll only let go once he's dead. So those claws are fully extended, gripped into that neck, and she's got a vice-like clamp with her jaws around his nostrils. Again, not for sensitive viewers, but one must remember this is the future of the Nkuhuma cubs. The fact that their mothers are able to hunt so successfully and hunt big prey successfully. see the others starting to feed before that buffalo has expired. Now, Liz is wondering, will they eat before they go fetch the cubs? Well, one lioness has already beetled off back towards the cubs, so she might actually go fetch the cubs before feeding. So, difficult to say. It all depends on the situation. So, they were hungry, but they weren't too hungry. So, she might go fetch the cubs before feeding. Now, shame, he's nearly gone. He's nearly gone to join the great buffalo herd in the sky. Now, Sheila said the lioness is trying to suffocate with a nose hold, but the buffalo's breathing through its mouth. Will she actually succeed in suffocating it with that nose hold? So Sheila, what she's actually doing is, if she is on that nose hold, as she keeps biting in that nasal cavities back into that buffalo's lungs. So what's actually happening, she's not suffocating, she's drowning buffalo, she's drowning it. So there we go, you can see the blood around her mouth, and you can hear that buffalo breathing. So the more she bites into that nose, and the more blood that starts flowing down the nasal cavity back into the lungs is what's going to kill that buffalo. You can actually hear how it's breathing now. It's starting to almost gurgle. See, those leg kicks are getting weaker and weaker. I don't think it's going to be too long now. No. Xander. Oh, look at that. She's just changing her grip. See how she's biting like that again? It's to get that bleeding going, to get more blood going down into those nostrils. Now that, coupled with the massive loss of blood this buffalo is suffering from its behind, and the two other lionesses have really opened up his rump, actually almost look like they're almost, there we go, you can see that into his stomach cavity already. So that, yeah, there you go, his intestines are coming out already. So that massive trauma and loss of blood at the base, coupled with that, not suffocation, that drown grip of the lioness in the front. You probably find this buffalo's been in shock for some time, and I hope not feeling anything. So D is wondering, why are the lionesses using that nose hold as opposed to the more traditional throat grip and the suffocation grip? Now, with a big buffalo bull like this, D, you'll probably find his larynx is too wide. So when lions grab something around the neck, there's a gap between their teeth. So they've got their canines, which act as an anchor, and then their premolars and their molars. Now, between those two, there's a big gap, and that gap is actually specially designed to pinch close the larynx of animals. Now, with the lioness, you'll probably find that this big buffalo bull, his larynx is too big for her to actually get that grip going, so she's unable to get or pinch the larynx closed. So that is why you'll often see lioness prefer the nose hold on buffalo as opposed to the throat hold, the more traditional, what we see with lions and smaller prey. Now, as you can see, her paw there below the mouth, it almost looks like she's holding its mouth closed, but it's not. She's just using that as an anchor. You can see the mouth still open. See how every now and then she gives a little shake or bite. It's to increase that blood flow into the lungs. Now, I'm not sure what time this started. Do you know, Xander? No idea. The excitement took over. But I missed that. How was that? It's been 40 minutes since they started jumping on this buffalo. Now, it's probably been a bit shorter because of the drought, but I have seen it take nearly 2 hours to kill a big buffalo bull, and that was with a bigger pride of lions in the Nkuhumas. But that buffalo was in prime condition. So these buffalo bulls, I could only see bulls. I didn't see any other buffalo as they charged past us. And these bulls are old, past prime, and this drought would have definitely had an effect on them. And it does make them an easier target. But by no means an easy target. And here the breathing getting much shallower. And you can hear that. See, she's putting extra force on. She's biting harder now. I don't think it's long now. You can see those. Yeah. Breathing getting much shallower. The leg kicks now are almost non-existent. So she's only going to let go when that buffalo finally expires. leg kicks very, very weak now. Oh, not quite. I don't think it's long to go now before this. It's the end of this poor big boy. You can see she almost senses it's close to the end. Now, as I said, it's an old buffalo bull. Wingnut's wondering how old. I'd guess probably between 12 and 14 years old. So past his prime. At about 10, 11, they're pushed out of the big breeding herds, and they live in these bachelor groups. And these Nkuhumas have been specializing in these bachelor groups of buffalo this dry season. Now that is actually stomach content on her shoulder there that sprayed out of the intestines as they pulled them out. There we go, you can see that on her neck there. It's not blood, it's buffalo stomach content that sprayed out as the other lioness pulled out their intestines. There's a very good chance there'll be a male lion here by tomorrow. If there are any in the vicinity, they definitely would have heard that buffalo's distress calls. Now, Meg's wondering, can another lioness take over the nose grip? It is possible, Meg, but unlikely in this situation where the buffalo's down. You can hear now the breathing's getting very, very difficult. Starting to become sometimes some big gaps between the breaths. Hi, William in Oregon. William would like to know, why do they always seem to start eating it from the rear end? Well, with buffalo, it's the safe end because they'll start feeding or actually opening up that area to try and weaken it during the hunt. And secondly, it's the rump, the nice tender, lots of meat there. So you'll find a lot of animals, especially cats, will start eating at the rear end, at the rump, because it in case they lose it to another lion or hyenas or whatnot, they get the most amount of meat in the shortest part of time without having to chew through any bones. Now, is that other lioness going in to help, or is she just going to start feeding? Looks like the other lioness has come to expedite these proceedings. There you go, you can see there's that stomach content, on that lioness's neck. Again, apologies to our sensitive viewers. It's nearly over. Even if she had to let go of that nose hold now, there's no ways this poor boy would survive. She has not relinquished that grip on his nose since she got there, and she won't till he takes his last breath. Now that crunch, crunch you hear is that lioness at the tail cutting open the skin. See how she's sliced the skin open there. You can actually see it's almost like someone's taken a pair of scissors and cut a perfectly straight line. Now her premolars, or what she's using to cut open to get to the skin, to get to the meat, are literally like a really sharp pair of side cutters. Now again, apologies to our sensitive viewers. This is live, this is raw, this is uncut, this is happening right now in the African bush. And if you are a little bit sensitive, just look away. It'll be over in about 10 or so minutes. The buffalo should be dead. And I know it is disturbing, but one must remember, this is the future for these lions. They've got 8 little cubs to feed. So a big buffalo bull like this is a great catch for the evening. As he stopped breathing. No, he's still kicking. I can't be far now. I'm just trying to watch carefully to see when he stops breathing. Now, sometimes you will have leg kicking after the animal is dead. It's just their nerves. The heart will still be pumping. See, those look almost more like those nerve reactions, not coordinated. Yeah, I think he's expired. Let's have a look at his stomach, see if it still looks like it's breathing. Okay, just move a little bit higher up onto there we go, onto that part of the stomach. I just want to have a look. I think he's almost stopped breathing, but he's still alive. He's gasping. There we go. She's let him go. It's done. Here we go. Now she's going to lie down and have a well-earned rest before she even thinks about starting to feed. And here we go. Two lionesses resting. The third eating. I wonder where the fifth Nkuhuma is. Well, the fourth one, I think, might have gone back to fetch the cubs. Now, all that sniffing around earlier might have been after these buffalo. Wouldn't it be nice if we could speak lion? What I find incredible with lions is the non-verbal communication. So how they read each other's body language. Oh, there comes the small intestine. So it's incredible that they're able to sort of maneuver and flank, all depending on the movement and body language of the other animals. And I think that's probably one of the most fascinating things for me about lions, is that non-verbal, that non-vocal, so not verbal, they can't speak, but that non-vocal communication. So of course lions have their vocal communications, their roars, their contact calls, but in the hunt they can't, because it'll give away their position. So once they get that buffalo open, generally they'll try get for the sort of high value items, heart, kidney, lung, livers, high in vitamins and minerals, particularly the liver, high iron content. But as you can see, they are not fussy. Those are the intestines, and that is stomach content coming out as she pulls through. She obviously doesn't eat that sort of half-digested grass. What she's really after there is the actual lining of the intestine. Now she doesn't want to eat, but now, just because there's another lioness there, it will growl at you. I think she's going to lie down for a bit more. Or she might head back. There's one of the mothers. She might head off to go fetch cubs. Or or she might head off down towards Buffalo's Hook for a drink. There you go, she's walking straight towards Jamie. No, she's changing her direction. And maybe she's heading back towards the cubs, who knows? So I know you guys can still see that lioness with Jamie. I can't see her at all now. So there we go, we're with the two remaining lionesses. I wonder if she's going to go fetch those cubs. I think she's going to go for a drink at Buffalo's Hook first. Now the fact that there's almost zero fighting around this carcass means that these lions have been incredibly well fed over the last while. And the drought has definitely been aiding them. So normally in a situation like this, if these lions had been desperately hungry, there would be much growling, snarling, and beating of each other as they took down the buffalo and started feeding. Well, it seems like everyone's off. I'm sure one lioness will stay. The next one's off down the road. I can't see it. That is another one of the mothers that's moved away. There she goes. So 4 lionesses. Maybe it's only Amber Eyes left behind. And the 3 mothers have gone off to fetch the cubs. Let's have a look at one. Yeah, that doesn't look like a lactating lioness. So that means the missing lioness is the youngest female. Maybe she's off entertaining a Birmingham boy. So the last time, or not the last time, the time before last year, when we saw the Nkuhumas grab a buffalo, it was Amber Eyes who was on the nose. This time it wasn't. So there we go. That also answers that question. It's not always the same lion in the same spot. Isn't this amazing? We're sitting here in the middle of the African bush live. And remember, if you have any questions about what just happened, about what's going on, remember to send them through to us at questions@WildEarthTV or use the hashtag SafariLive on Twitter. it's incredible. It's just sort of the excitement's down, the buffalo's down. Sort of take a moment. I tend to get very excited over a butterfly. So imagine how excited I get when we get to see incredible behavior like that. And of course, a lot of people get worried and think we're all after the death and the blood and the guts and the gore. It's not that. And so we get to see this incredible animal behavior that so few people in the world ever get to witness. And just guess what? We just witnessed it live. Now, Dee is wondering if a male lion came along, would this female leave? Well, not necessarily leave, Dee, but she would probably have to leave her spot at the kill for him. Now, he might chase off, and they can be quite selfish, only liking to feed by themselves. I said it'll be incredibly unlikely that there won't be a male lion tomorrow. I think it's very likely there will be a male. Now, those big boys, they hear that buffalo go boo, and they come a-jogging. So it took probably just under 50, or just under an hour for this buffalo to die, which is about normal 40 minutes to an hour. Now, I'm sure a few of you are wondering where the hyenas are. Now, at the moment, our hyena clan has moved a bit further to the northwest, so we're not seeing them too much, but for hyenas to steal this kill from lions, you can work on an average of 3 hyenas to 1 lion. So there would have to be, if all 5 lionesses were present, there'd have to be 15 hyenas for them to sort of mob the Nkuhuma pride off this carcass. Now, if you add a male into the equation, the hyenas will stay away. It's very, very seldom and that there are hyenas brave enough to take on a male lion. He's just that much stronger and that much more powerful than the females. Oh, what a first drive back. Kitty cat luck seems to be with me still. Now, from the incredible Nkuhumas, across to James with the...
Look who's arrived. Hello, little ones. Our cubs are on their way. And in a way, whilst it doesn't make everything better, what we've just witnessed, it certainly makes us feel a little bit more comfortable about what we've just witnessed as 8 hungry mouths are about to be fed. There they go, off behind us. Dave, I think there's one on the right as well. I mean on the left. Well, there was. You could just hear it in the darkness. Okay, I think that's everyone. I'm just going to wait until they've gone a little bit further behind me, and then I'm going to turn our vehicle around and we'll catch up with them. Wow, what an intense night this has been. Hoping there's nobody here. Hello. Gonna go move very, very slowly, and I'm just going to check behind me, and then Dave's going to provide me with that infrared light, and it'll take us to the cubs. Alright, Dave, I'm in your hands now. I'm driving blind. There they go, over the ridge. I'm just going to make very, very sure that there's not one on the other side of us. I can see them up ahead. I'm not going very fast and I'm not racing to catch up with them because I don't want to risk. I can only see a couple of meters in front of me. So we're going really, really slowly. As the cubs make their way to a meal that the females worked incredibly, incredibly hard to get for them. Whoopsie, I think the road's a little bit to the left there. That's so amazing, the silhouettes of the lions in front of me. I don't know if we're going to be able to capture it. But there they all go. Little cubs. Isn't that incredible? With their amazing mothers. Calling, frolicking, playing, chasing each other around. In high spirits, the females just exhausted after that trial that they were put through. And the cubs bounding in anticipation of some very, very full bellies. Pouncing on each other. And although it's very, very hard to watch an animal die like that, remembering that there are hungry little mouths to feed is definitely a comfort. Look at you, you little scamps. Are you too gorgeous for words? The poor lionesses, they're so exhausted, and all the little ones want to do is play with them. It just goes to show that lioness that left earlier on in the hunt went straight to fetch the cubs as soon as she knew that that buffalo was going down. And those two lionesses went off to fetch them. Just little silhouettes in green. Amazing. Well done, Nkuhumas. Sorry, Mr. Buffalo. All right, let's jump on board with Brent as they make their way over in his direction.
Here we go. The first of the cubs have arrived at the buffalo kill. Here they come. Now, let's see. The first one. Who's going to be the first one to rush towards the carcass? Get ready for some of the fiercest little sounds you've heard in a while. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Ooh, 8. Now, as they get bigger, Auntie Amber is not going to be as tolerant as she once was. Just checking it's not alive, Ma. Making sure you did your job. Oh, scuttling about. Happy cubbies. Now, they seem so well fed, they're more interested in playing than eating. Perfect, thanks, yours. So there we go. As you can see, we are sitting absolutely in the pitch black. I cannot see a thing, and I'm looking at my monitor. What has that cub got at the back there? Is that my hat? No, I'm joking. It's not my hat. It's the tail. Yes, I could have lost my hat, but he's stolen the tail. He's having a great game with it. Isn't this incredible? This infrared enables us to view cubs at night. Normally, no spotlights on cubs until they're about between 6 and 8 months old. But with infrared, we remove. Look at him. Looks very impressed with himself. Cheers, yours. Have a good evening. Yeah, thanks. It was awesome to have you here as well. Second time. So just saying goodbye to yours. That's the second time yours and I have seen the Nkuhumas together take down a buffalo. And he's got over the ear. Ooh, there's a little bit of growling starting. Now Michael's wondering, are male cubs slightly more aggressive than females, especially around food? Well, generally they can be, just because they're a bit bigger. And in lion society, quite often size goes a very long way. Now wait, there's going to be, let's see how long it takes them before they get upset with each other and they can't share. As I said, they're so full, they're not really that worried about eating. The ears flat. No serious growling at each other just yet. Adult females moving back in. Hi, Jerry. Jerry's wondering how long it'll take for them to eat that entire carcass. Big bull like this, Jerry, and they're not too hungry, probably 2 to 3 days. Now, it all depends if a male arrives, then of course the carcass won't last nearly as long. Oh, excuse me. I was expecting a lot more growling and snarling between the little guys, and they're obviously so fat on mom's milk and all the buffalo that they've been caught over the last little while. It's more fun and games than feeding. Who's the king of the buffalo? Yeah, more playing than actually eating going on here. It's practicing the throat grip on the buffalo's armpit. There's a little bit of growling, but not much. course, we have an incredibly ecstatic Nkuhuma pride. If you've just happened to stumble upon us, this is live infrared viewing of lion pride on a kill. And can you believe we watched them take down this buffalo live? You are watching with me at the exact same time. Isn't that incredible? We're able to bring you the immense and amazing animals from Africa live wherever you might be in the world. Remember, hashtag Safari Live or questions at WildEarthTV if you'd like to send us any questions. I said they're not particularly hungry, otherwise there'd be a lot more snarling, growling and swatting. That little one, he's practicing catching buffalo up front. Not interested in eating. Oh no, he's caught and killed. He's happy. Yes, you big brave thing, you. So we're going to sit here with the Nkuhumas, but let's go see what's happening in the Mara Triangle with James. Well, they're still feeding, and it's quite disconcerting to sit here in the pitch black. And I can see my monitor, but if I look away from my monitor, all I can hear is crunching and growling. So I'm going to keep quiet for a bit and let you just listen. No, mine. Go find another spot to eat. Hi, Natalie. Natalie is wondering, if hyena came, would the cubs be safe if the lionesses had to protect the kill? Natalie, they generally protect the cubs before the kill. So it all depends. And so there are not too many hyenas around. And I don't think our clan is around, firstly, or possibly big enough to challenge all of these lions at the moment. So there's 4 adult lionesses around here. So the average needs 3 hyenas to 1 adult lioness before they become brave. Oh, little disagreement there. So you'd need at least 10 hyenas to really trouble these lions at the moment. But still, a relatively civil dinner so far. As I said, they're so well fed at the moment. Not too much fighting. So sort of low constant. Mine, 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 mine. Trying to get a sneaky bite from above. can see the behavior around the kill at night is pretty much the same as what it would be during the day. Hi, Jean in North Carolina, and Jean would like to know, was this Xander's first lion kill? Xander, was this your first lion kill?
Yep.
Was it your first kill?
Yep.
There we go. It was indeed Xander's first lion kill, and I'm very happy to have experienced it with Mr. Eggsy. We're both smiling from ear to ear, although you can't see it in the dark. Well, you can with infrared, but I can't. Yes, and see, they're so well fed. They're more playing than eating, quite a few of them, jumping up and down on the carcass. Chewing on the ear, which is not very tasty and not much meat there. But I suppose a nice chew toy. Look at that. Spitting. Oh, we can hear some bushveld rain frogs calling now. That what? There, that noise there. One of my favorite frog species. They look like grumpy old men. So only 2 lionesses here. I think the other lionesses might have headed off to go have a drink of water at Buffalo's Hook. Oh, that is a severely flat cat. Hard work for the night's done. Hi, TJ. Now, TJ wonders, you're going to get a smack, little one. What is the order of feeding? Cubs first, then lionesses, lionesses first, males. Doesn't want to eat, wants to play. Well, TJ, it all depends on how hungry everyone is. This is quite calm and sedate because no one's particularly hungry. Now, normally adults will tolerate cubs, but they will try eat the most first because they need the most energy, specifically the mothers, because they're producing milk and they have to do the hunting. Now, if a male was here, a male would dominate the carcass. Sometimes males will tolerate cubs feeding with them, sometimes they won't. It all just depends on the individual and the mood he's in. So there's no set order. It all is depending on quite a lot of variance. But generally, lionesses will tolerate cubs feeding and feeding around them and irritating them to a degree. Oh, what's going on closer to us? I can hear sounds. There we go. That's what I could hear. A cub talking. And obviously came to see the sleeping lioness. I could not see it. I just heard that. Oh, oh, oh. Now that phrase, spitting with anger, it has to come from cats. Nothing else can quite spit with anger like a cat. That wah. Now, for those of you who might have stumbled upon us, we are live in the African bush. These lions have just killed this adult buffalo bull, and they've brought their cubs in to feed. So not only are we live, but we're also interactive. So I'm going to ask you guys, what should we do next? Should we stay with these little lions as they devour the big buffalo? Or should we test our luck? Oof. A bit more serious of an argument there. And see if we can find any other incredible nocturnal creatures to view. And let me know by using the hashtag SafariLive, or send an email to questions@WildEarthTV. And the temperature's dipping. I'm just putting my jacket on. Hi, Marion. Marion is in the Lone Star State, Texas. And Marion is wondering, why didn't they remove the stomach contents before starting to feed? Well, because they're not particularly fussy, Marion. So, I mean, earlier you would have seen they were actually eating the intestines with the stomach contents still in it. Just have a look to our right here, Zunde. The lioness is looking up. I think those other lionesses might be coming back from their drink. They're looking into this area here. Now, as I say, we're using infrared, so what I can see, absolutely nothing. Unless I look at my little monitor in front of me. Do you see anything, Xander? No. Oh, anyway. All we know is sometimes a lion might appear right next to us. But these lions have been so well fed during this drought. As you can see, they're not too perturbed about eating. And the cubs are more playing than feeding. Well, there's a couple of them getting really stuck in there. There, that's what they might have been looking at. There was something around in the bushes next to us. I think just judging from that behavior, and you can see she's not lactating, that's Auntie Amber. Oof. There we go, a bit more serious fight going on there now. Sarah's wondering, why do the lions lick the buffalo skin? Now, Sarah, if a lion had to lick you, if it had to lick sort of 2 or 3 times in the same spot, it would actually take your skin off. It's like very coarse sandpaper. So they actually lick to soften the skin up a little bit before they start using their teeth to open it. So now, a lion lick, if done constantly in the same place, would actually remove human skin. And they're very, very rough tongues. can hear that little one right next to us again. It's walked probably... There they are. No, they are no more than about 5 feet from us. Tired kitty. You can see those other two towards the front are just playing. And that little one to the right, imagining it's caught this buffalo all by itself. No, let's annoy the sleeping one. Fine, I'll go sleep somewhere else. Well, that's a trouble causer atop now. Full of beans. Or actually full of buffalo. That area was opened up by the lionesses earlier. Now, Laura is wondering, do I think they're letting the cubs eat first because nursing hurts? Not only because they've been eating well, so eating meat will lessen them nursing. Laura, I don't think so, especially not on a carcass of this size. I mean, there's enough meat to go around if they all wanted to eat. So I don't think so. I just think they're probably quite exhausted after the hunt, and that's not unusual. And they're just really well fed at the moment. It seems like when they go shopping for buffalo, they take them down at will at the moment with the drought. Oopsie. Well, one thing about sitting in the dark is you don't see when you're knocking things over. Now, Simpkin's wondering, how old are these cubs? They're various ages. I think the youngest now probably just over 3 months, and the oldest must be close on 5 months. And and Simpkin's also wondering, when are they weaned? They're probably completely weaned by about 6 months, when they lose their milk teeth and start developing their adult teeth. Or actually, sorry, not developing, but their adult teeth push through, and the milk teeth are all gone by about 6 months. And I don't think too much more is going to happen at this buffalo carcass about from cubs playing who's the king of the buffalo. So let's jump all the way back. It's over 1,900, over 2,000 kilometers to Kenya and see what James is up to. Cubs putting their faces where you're feeding. Well, and back to king of the buffalo. Or maybe it's just a good spot to have a snooze if you're a little one. And that's definitely one of the mothers there. You can see from her tummy. We know where to find the Nkuhumas tomorrow. Now, I wonder if there's going to be Birmingham boys with them. Because if there was one within 10 kilometers, he definitely would have heard the distress calls of that buffalo. Oof, oof. He's spitting mad. Hi, Zaki, who's 21 in Kenya. So Zaki's closer to James than to me. And Zaki is wondering, how do mother lions know that their cubs are safe if they're too far away to hear the distress call? Well, Zaki, they don't. They have to rely on the fact that they've left the cubs in a relatively thick, safe area. And the cubs have to rely on their instincts. So when the mothers are not there, they don't make a lot of noise, they don't move too much, they try to hide as much as possible. The cubs pushing the adults away from the feeding area. Not too upset. If she really wanted to, she'd swat them out of the way. Or give them a good lesson like that. That cub's about to get another disciplining. And look at the back, those two. Well, who needs meat when you got mom's milk? So even though there's a whole buffalo right there, they're suckling. Oh, those noises are just incredible. As they get older, the lionesses will become less tolerant of the cubs feeding that close to them. And the cubs will have to learn to fight for their spot at the kill, which they already do even when they're suckling. Now, Monique in London says, I know we're giggling about the little growls now, but could they ever become sort of quite serious and aggressive? Now, Monique, there's always a chance that a lion cub will get swatted by one of the bigger ones and injured. I mean, one must remember, not too far back, there was a little Nkuhuma cub, one of these guys, who could barely walk for a while. And that's almost certainly from being swatted either by a Birmingham boy or an adult lioness when they were misbehaving around a carcass. But at the moment, while it's a time of plenty, it's not such a problem. Oof. Big growl, spitting man. It's the best way to describe it. Now, from a very successful hunt with the Nkuhumas, let's go back to that lioness in the Mara who wasn't quite as successful.